Chase.
Yeah. What?
Same starters.
Same starters. Okay. So
Did you watch the game last time? You want to go over the starters?
no. I remember the starters. So Westbrook, does that mean he'll sit tomorrow? Russell.
Not sure.
Okay. Question for you. So you guys got swept by this team last year. What do you need to be
Wow.
differently against Orlando? Obviously, it's different roster.
I've not really thought about that last year when we were totally different. They're a good team, well coached. I understand they want to play a little faster now, so that's good for us. I thought last year we're going to talk about a little bit. They picked us apart in certain areas, but this year we want to play like we played against Philadelphia. Do a better job of taking care of the basketball and limiting some of our mistakes down the stretch. But they got a really they're big fellas hard to guard. You can take threes, take you outside and shoot threes, and he can post you up and back you down. Good passer, and they got some really good playmakers and some shooters. So we have to do a good job of getting back and locking in.
Fred.
Hey, Scott. I've never asked this one before because you've never been able to have 15 guys on your roster. When you have an injury, why go with 14 active players instead of using one of the two ways, which you've done 2 times now?
Good question. I mean, we have to make decisions, and you have, I think the number is, if I can remember correctly, you have 50 games, if that's the right number, or something like 50 games. So there's some strategy. We're going to play. It's hard to get to 10. So there's going to be some times where you're going to need our two-way guys. Cash is banged up right now. He can play. We wanted him to right now, but Garrison will always be ready. But when that time comes, we'll make that decision. But that's part of the reason.
And as for Davis, is there a minutes restriction? Same thing as last time?
Yeah, try to keep him, and hopefully the back-to-back setting. Obviously, that plays a little bit into the minutes that we're going to play him tonight. But probably like last game, that 18 to 20, and maybe you can do the same thing tomorrow night. Let's see.
Zach.
Hi, Coach. I noticed you and Rui had a brief conversation on the court earlier. What did you tell him, and how good is it to see him here?
It's awesome to see him, man. I just saw him the other day. We miss him. I miss him. Miss having him around. He just brings just a common influence to all of us. He's a pro, but it's good for him, for his mental as well. It's tough to be away from the team. This time it wasn't as long, but it's still a long, start the season. So I just told him I can't wait for him to get back on the court. Can't wait for him to get on the practice court and start practicing with us. And he did a little bit the other day, did a little bit today. So gradually getting on the court. We got a tough stretch of games, so I don't know how many times we're going to practice. We got back-to-backs. We got 3 and 4 next week. We got 5 and 7, and then we got 6 and 9. So we got a lot of games. So we're going to try to find some opportunity, maybe bring some low-minute guys when Rui, continues the progress like he has. But it was just great to see him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take a few more. Chris Miller.
Hey, Scotty, do you have any memories of Wes Unseld tonight? The organization is going to honor him. Do you ever have any interactions with him?
Yeah, I was probably my second year. I don't even know what city we were in. I remember bumping into him, like literally bumping into him, like, holy boy. And I was so, I mean, he's a big man and intimidating. And then obviously I was scared out of my mind. It was like my second year. I'm 23, 24 years old. And he just struck a conversation with me for like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm like, man, this guy's like the nicest, big, scary looking man I've ever bumped into. But what a nice man. That was it. That was it. And I ran into him a few other times just saying hello and things like that. But one of the greatest players ever. I mean, ever. What he was able to do at his size and dominate the game as a rookie and championship. It's quite an honor to meet him and talk to him. But I can't say I had a chance to really get to know him, but incredible player.
Do you have a handshake story?
Oh my, yeah, he shook my hand. Yeah, I felt like I needed to put both hands out there just to, maybe I can grab onto, 3 or 4 fingers. Man, that was a big hand, and you can tell those were hard-working hands. And a guy like him that you can just tell the way he acted, the way he was just talking to me. He's probably everybody's favorite teammate because he came with that lunch pail mentality and how great he was, how much of a star he was. He still did the dirty work, and those are the guys. That's really what makes teams really function at a high level, when your best player like that does all the little things that it takes to win.
Thanks, Scotty.
Yeah.
Ava.
Hey, Scott, with all the back-to-backs, as you just mentioned, what's practice looking like nowadays?
It's probably, it's going to be, we're going to have some days off. And then even if we do practice, it's going to be a lot of guys just getting shots, and a lot of the low-minute guys or the players that have not played much will be getting after it pretty good just to stay sharp in case their number is called, which I anticipate everybody has to be ready. Everybody has to be ready. I anticipate everybody's going to get their number called sometime. So I don't know when we play. What's today? Saturday, Sunday. Again, we'll probably have off Monday and have a very light one Wednesday before we head out for another back-to-back.
Quentin.
How you doing, Coach?
Good. Quentin, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You mentioned Cassius is banged up. What is that injury looking like? Is it serious? What's the nature of that?
No, I think it's just a strain, a hamstring.
Okay.
Nothing serious. Probably he's back on the court the last couple of days. He probably missed, 3 or 4 days. Just did all this treatments, rehab, did a lot of in the weight room work and bicycle work. But he's back on the court getting some shots and some ball handling stuff. But he should be back shortly.
Okay. And now to the game. Last game was a big matchup for Thomas Bryant. He had to try to handle Joel Embiid. Tonight, another matchup with Vucevic. Have you talked to him, and what if you kind of like coached him up to say, hey, this is how you handle these big guys, and kind of get them prepared for another tough matchup against one of the best bigs in the league?
Yeah, I talked to him the other day before practice. I said, that was one of your best defensive games. You saw a lot of the plays much quicker. Those are the things that we've been working with him when he was watching films with our coaches. But I thought he was much better. Like I said many times, it takes a while. The game is fast, and some guys it's much faster. It doesn't slow down at the same rate as it slows down for other guys. But I thought he was good against Joel, and Joel made a lot of tough shots and a lot of shots that if he's going to take, those are the areas of the floor that we don't mind. Orlando's big. I mean, Vucevic is he's as talented, as skilled as any big in the league can pass. He's going to have to use his speed and quickness and run him up and down the court. That's to his advantage. And just like last game, if you're going to go muscle for muscle or pound for pound, he's not going to win that fight, but he's going to win the run fight. He's going to have to run every time down the court, create opportunities that way.
And lastly, this 3-guard matchup that you went to last game, what did you like and dislike from that, and will we see it as much this game?
Yeah, I liked it. Our last exhibition game, I liked it throughout practice. It wasn't as good as that it could be, and it's only a small sample size. I thought how Lewis played as well as everybody in camp. And, we talk about reward guys that bring it every day in practice. And so that was an example of, I thought he's played as well as anybody in camp. That's why he got those minutes. And they weren't heavy minutes, and they're probably not going to always be at the minute he was. He might get a little more, he might get a little less, and he's going to play a lot of minutes the games that maybe that Russell does not play. So, but everybody has to be ready. But that lineup, I think it can play much better than it did.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
We appreciate it.
All right, that's all the time we got for Coach tonight.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you, Coach.